Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're getting a special inside look at some key strategies from a really powerful training program designed for parents, educators, and therapists. We're going to get a preview of what it takes to level up your ABA skills. All right, before we dive in, just a quick note. All the material we're about to explore is proprietary, copyrighted content from Special Learning. So think of this as just a glimpse, a little sneak peek into their comprehensive Level 2 course. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to preview 3 core modules. First, how to foster social connections. Then we'll get into unlocking true motivation. After that, we'll look at teaching skills with video. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a summary of the complete ABA intervention toolkit. Let's get started. Let's start with a really common challenge, right? You can place a child in a classroom, but that doesn't automatically mean they're going to make friends or have social success. So the big question is, how do we actively build those crucial connections? And this quote it perfectly illustrates the core problem. Meaningful interaction requires a real targeted strategy. It's not just about physical presence, you know? You can't just hope it happens. What's really interesting is that peer dynamics they're complicated. If you look at any classroom, you'll see these natural social groups form. Understanding these different categories helps us see exactly why some children might need a little extra support to find their footing. So, this is where the training gives us a really powerful tool, peer-mediated interventions, or PMI. This whole approach leverages the natural social environment. It uses trained peers to help teach these skills right where they happen. Now, the crucial thing to remember is that implementing this isn't just guesswork. It follows a really clear evidence-based 10-step process to make sure it's effective. It all starts with collecting data and then moves on to things like carefully selecting and training the right peers. Okay, let's move on to our next module, which really builds on this. Because, even the absolute best teaching strategy in the world is going to fall flat if the learner isn't motivated. So here's the fundamental question, right? How can we be sure that the reinforcers we're using are actually genuinely powerful for that specific individual? How do we know what they really want? Well, the answer is something called a preference assessment. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a formal, systematic process for figuring out what a person is most motivated by. No more guessing. Now, these assessments can be indirect, like asking a parent or teacher what their child likes. Or they can be direct, which is more reliable. That involves systematically presenting different items and actually recording the learner's choices. And the data we get from these direct assessments lets us actually quantify motivation. Here's the key number. Items that get selected more than 80% of the time are what we call high preference. And those are the ones that are likely to be really powerful reinforcers for teaching new skills. All right, now let's look at how we can use modern technology to make teaching those complex, multi-step skills way more consistent and, honestly, a lot more engaging. The technique is called video modeling, and it's just incredibly versatile. Just look at this list. It can be used to teach pretty much everything, from basic social skills like initiating a conversation, all the way to complex vocational tasks. So what is it about watching a video that makes it such a powerful teaching method? Compared to more traditional prompting from a person. Why does it work so well? Well, this slide just illustrates the key benefits perfectly. For one, it's low cost. You can just use a phone or a tablet. It provides a perfectly consistent model every single time, which removes human error. It's often highly motivating, and it's completely portable, so you can use it anywhere. Okay, so let's bring these 3 powerful concepts together now: social connections, motivation, and video teaching, and see how they form one cohesive, powerful toolkit. This table is a perfect summary of what we've just covered. It lays out the core challenge for each area, and then the specific evidence-based strategy from the course that you can use to solve it. It's all about having the right tool for the right job. And remember, we've really only scratched the surface today. This was just a quick look at the in-depth, practical training that's available in the complete Level 2 course. What this all really comes down to is this simple but powerful question. Think about it. Equipping yourself with these kinds of tools doesn't just teach a single skill. It really opens up a whole new world of possibilities for a learner. How could one new strategy change everything?